G'day guys, good morning. How's everyone today? Bakwan, thank you for your support yesterday. I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining today. Good to see you here. We'll just give it a few minutes and let a few more bods come in. Tomek, good day, mate. How are you? Sound is perfect. Good to hear. Thanks for that, pal. Yeah, I did a restart on my computer the other day, and it didn't update and through the mic to my webcam for some reason. But I didn't realize till after I did my recording the other day, and I wasn't going to redo it. We'll get one more minute and then we'll get rolling. All right, guys. G'day and welcome to this week's midweek market meetup. Jimmy Trades here from Unicorn University, part of the Ash Capital trading group. Let's roll on with it. Feel free, guys, to throw any comments in the chat, and I'm happy to answer those as we move along. C. Hans, good morning. Thanks for joining, buddy. So it is non-farm payroll week this week. Let's go and have a look at the calendar. This is where I start my analysis every day. Always start on the calendar looking for high impact news. This is where we get our liquidity from. Marcus, good evening. Thank you. Good evening to you as well. It is evening here where I am. So what have we got today? A lot of people do trade non-farm payroll protocol. So that means there might be some guys that don't trade from Wednesday to Friday of this week. And really that's contingent upon the individual, what your risk profile allows. So we have ADP non-farm employment change today at 8:15. So if you were looking to trade today and take a position, for me, that would be after news and then after New York opens. So putting us at 9:30 to look for position. Alwatik, I hope I said your name right properly. Good morning, buddy. Do I do this every week? Yes, I do this every Wednesday. It runs at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, trade cautiously if you do decide to trade today. With non-farm payroll, we could potentially see consolidation over the next couple of days before Friday's big move. All right, let's go over to the chart, shall we? See, Hans, you can join the Ash Capital Discord. I'll throw that in there. You can always reach me in there. Just at Jimmy Trades. And then if you find me on Discord, you can always DM me as well. Okay, so over at looking at NQ here, I always start on the daily chart. This is where I get my bias from, and then I look towards the hourly for the structure. That's where I get my narrative and logic from. So keeping it nice and simple, we had NQ moving from an internal liquidity level, and we were targeting external. This was our external here, this swing low. There is a slight, albeit very small, swing low just there. And we see that price completed its objective for our bearish bias. And we had a reaction to this level. I'm going to close above this low as well. I would be looking to have a bullish bias today on account of the fact I'm looking at this as bearish bias complete with this reaction here. Currently, price is respecting 50% of this yesterday's downside wick as well. And we'll see how much movement we get today. We may even leave a bearish FVG if we get that sort of consolidation. Oh, thanks, Marcus. I actually just shared my YouTube link. That's funny. How did that happen? I'll have a look at that in a minute. So having a bullish bias here on NQ today. For me, I won't be participating for the rest of the week. That's not to say that I do follow the non-farm payroll protocol that others stick to, but I have a bit going on around home with some projects that are happening, so that's taking most of my time up. So after we had this change in the state of delivery, you can see price. This was back from Thursday last week. Price respected bearish PD arrays and continued to move lower before getting this strong move lower yesterday. Price has come up into this bearish FEG and pushed away, but we are consolidating. So I don't have a potential reversal here that I can see yet, which would give us a potential bullish move higher, aligning us with our daily bias. So I don't see that yet. Good morning, Drew. Thanks for joining. We have no change in the state of delivery here. We had our projections completed from this level here with close through. If we use this manipulation leg here, we've got a close below the negative 2.5. So we could anticipate price to reach the negative 4. But again, I'm not seeing anything here that tells me we're going to change to bullish just yet. I'll be looking for some displacement higher to give us a change in the state of delivery, potentially, you know, from a level here. If we were to get price moving higher from here, again, we might see some displacement once we have the news at 8:15. So at the moment, there's nothing of interest for me on the hourly to have my bias and hourly structure aligned just yet. All right, so let's move over to ES. So after the sweep here, new all-time highs. We did get a bearish reaction from our external liquidity. We have internal liquidity right resting down here. For a potential target. We do see that price respected this bullish order block and also very much respecting 50% of this wick from Wednesday last week. So although we don't have a swing point here or a bullish FEG for price to move from, we may see a reversal at this level if these order blocks and this wick is respected. Because we're not at a point of interest, for me to form a bias, I will be neutral on ES. And just because ES and NQ are correlated doesn't mean I just automatically say, hey, well, I'm bullish on NQ, so I'm going to be bullish on ES. I just look at the chart and what the chart's telling me. So that's what I work with. Let's have a look at the hourly. So after the change in the state of delivery here, which was perfectly respected, it looked like we might get a reversal yesterday, but that didn't happen. We came up, we tested this negative change in the state of delivery, and we sold off from there. Price came up and respected the bearish PD array, this hourly SIBI, and it's just been in consolidation. Have a look what, just having a look at chat. Drew says, Jimmy, will you be posting this to the channel after the stream? I may be missing some parts. Yes, mate. As soon as the stream's complete, it will be up on YouTube. So consolidation here on ES. Time to be patient. We want to see price choose a side. Interesting to note, we haven't been able to get a close below these wicks. Even with this move down, we haven't closed below this wick. With this move down, we haven't closed below this wick. So that leans towards a more of a bullish sentiment. But I will be remaining neutral across ES today. Remember guys, feel free to throw your questions in the chat as we move through. If there's something you want me to clarify or review, just let me know. So oil rocketed up and it looks like it's still rocketing. Probably has a little bit to do with conflicts overseas. So we moved from internal. Here was our internal. And we've targeted and rested back into internal. So when we get this sort of reaction and price comes down from internal to internal, I don't necessarily worry about internal to external or external to internal. I'm just always looking at the most recent information and what price, where price is resting. So right now we've pushed out of this internal and we're moving higher. We're currently at this external level. Good morning, Fayaz. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yes, I'll have a look at gold, buddy. So price is currently at an external level here on oil. We have internal here. So I would look at, I sort of tend to wait here. Obviously we're still a little bit away from open, so I wouldn't form a bias right away, because if we look at the hourly structure, it's no doubt when we get there, it's probably all bullish, right? We can see that we've just had displacement through. So we are at an external point here, but that wouldn't necessarily push me straight to a bearish bias. Because we could, in fact, as we come into open, this candle could continue to displace higher. So in this situation, I tend to look for more of a change in the state of delivery on the hourly. Marcus says, if it goes internal to internal, isn't the wick lower considered external? Yes, you can look at it that way for sure, Marcus. There's no doubt. So you're saying this one here on the Thursday, the 26th? Let's have a look at the hourly. So changing the state of delivery. Bullish change in the state of delivery. This is the first moment in time we get a change in trend. What helps me confirm that is I like to use the line chart. And you can see that it stands out quite clearly. The line chart also helps when it's less easy to identify. In this instance, it was quite easy to identify. This rather large bullish FEG. Price has respected that as well. And we're continuing to grind higher. If we go back in time a little bit, we have low resistance liquidity. And we have this large bearish FEG. So there's still plenty of potential here for price to reach higher. And this is our leg here that took liquidity. So we can run our standard deviations from here. And we have a nice target area. Price is just tapped into. So when we reach our -2, we can anticipate price to consolidate or retrace. And if we get the move through and we get a close above the -2.5, then we can look and anticipate price to reach for the -4. So there is some confluence here for higher prices. I'm actually going to remain bullish on oil for the time being, unless we do see a change in the state of delivery, a bearish change in the state of delivery. Let's have a look at Euro futures. So price had been chopping sideways a little bit. We finally get a move lower. So we've moved from external to internal. This internal levels also has a swing low there. I find these levels to be reasonably strong because we have both of our bullish points of interest inside of each other here. So I'll be looking for price to move higher. So having a bullish bias. This FEG has supported price. We didn't see it close through. It's closed inside. On the hourly, price has started to consolidate. We really want to see if we do get a move higher here now. We want to see price get above this level here for a change in the state of delivery with displacement. But price is fairly indecisive here at the moment. While it's stuck in this range, I wouldn't be interested in trading Euro futures right at the moment. You can use the extremes of the range if you want to trade back into equilibrium. For example, if there was a position, I trade the unicorn model. So once price reached the extreme of the range, you could look at price to come back to the equilibrium, and if there was a entry function that presented, you could utilize that. Let's have a look at gold. So when I did my review of gold yesterday, I was actually looking for price to see if it would reach down into this discounted bullish FEG. If you look at the dealing range here, this FEG is below the 50% level, meaning that it's in a discount. Because price also closed below this one, therefore I was looking at this FEG as invalidated. Well, it's actually supported price. We closed through and then immediately closed back through. So I'll be looking for price to move higher off of this level. So bullish on gold. Have a lot of low resistance liquidity above price, high resistance liquidity on our side of price. We also have a breaker here, a bullish breaker We do have an FVG aligned, so we do have displacement through. We could also look at this level as a bullish change in the state of delivery. So if price does reach back to this level, then we want to see these PD arrays respected. So we want to see the change in the state of delivery and the breaker blocks respected in order to see price continue higher. We do have this FVG here providing some support. We've wicked down, we've tested this level a couple of times here now. It's also in a discount of the dealing range here. And if we look at our standard deviations, we have this leg that took liquidity from the low to the high. And our target region, the -2 to 2.5, is nicely aligned with this low resistance liquidity as well. So some confluence here for bullish price. Hopping over to Dixie. So price moving from external, we had the sweep here. Therefore, we had a bullish bias. And we were looking for price to reach back into this FVG, which it has done. Currently respecting this FVG. So to close back into equilibrium. We have gapped up slightly today. Our point of interest is a bearish point of interest. So I'll look to be bearish on Dixie today. Let's go and have a look at GBP. Let's clear that up. So price reached a legacy high. If I just go across here. There's this high here. So we could look back in time and use this legacy high as a point of interest. We can see that price has reacted there. Nearly all of these candles bodies are the same height. So we had this consolidation, but we were looking bearish, and we did get that bearish move. We've now swept a swing low, and we've also reacted from that level. So we'll be looking for price to be bullish today. And remember, the key to bias is it's there to give you an idea. It's there to help you form an idea for an entry. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your bias is bearish and the daily candle closes bullish. It's irrelevant. Does the bearish bias give you an opportunity to enter the market? Yes or no? Or vice versa? It's just there to form an idea. and we use that idea to our advantage. Do we have a change in the state of delivery here? It's not pretty. We do have displacement here in this leg. We really want to see price get through back above this level. We are respecting this bullish PD array here. We did form some high resistance liquidity here with this sweep. We do have low resistance liquidity on the other side of price. We can also look at this manipulation leg here for potential target area. Small seek and destroy profile marker says, yeah, I actually tend to agree. Let's have a look down at the 15-minute. And the reason I'll do that is because I have the Asia and London sessions. So we can see that we've already taken our Asia low and the Asia high. Looking at something like this, potentially. And this is one of those times where you can use the S&D profile to your advantage. So if you get, and this is another time as well where you can have either sort of bias, and if it plays out back to equilibrium and you get an entry function, then because what you would do is you would play off price coming down here to the extreme of the range, look for an entry function back into equilibrium, or vice versa. Extreme of the range, back to equilibrium. So you can get opportunities on both sides of the market from a seek and destroy profile. All right, guys, throw your questions in the chat because I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. I actually need to get a bit of rest, so it's not going to be a long stream today. Have a look at Euro. We'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at Euro and then I'll start wrapping it up. Now I do look at both Euro USD and 6E. I trade 6E, but I do look at Euro USD as well. Although they're very similar, sometimes we'll see SMT with them, or point of interest might be slightly different. And you can see here with EU that the price respected this bullish FEG, but on futures the close was down here, much closer to the bottom of the FEG. So there are some differences. We have liquidity resting here, and yes, this candle isn't closed yet, but we do have a void here. And we have swept this external as well. So I'm keeping a bullish bias. on EU as well. All right, guys, if there's no more questions, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Appreciate you guys joining. Big milestone yesterday, reached 500 subs on the channel. So thank you to each and every one of you for all your support. Continue to share the love because I want to get to 1,000 subs. That's my next target. We keep on working and providing as much value as possible. I should mention as well, Aesthetic Capital is launching soon, a new prop firm that I've partnered with. So that's very exciting, launching on the 8th of October. So watch this space. I'll be providing more information as the days pass and as we get closer to launch as well. Thanks everyone for turning up to this week's Midweek Market Meetup. I really appreciate it. Until next week, safe trading. Remember, it's NFP protocol, so trade safe. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.